takes a touch. Kenzie with it, up over the keeper Delude, and Bedford now has a 1-0 lead.
Lana Morris finds Kylie Morris. Kylie's got a shot at it at the end line, and it's in!
Goal! Forrester with it, left foot in the middle, off the head, and Diaz with a shot at it, and it's good!
She's gonna make it happen herself. Kenna with the right foot into the box, and a goal for Bedford!
Good evening and welcome to Bulldog Stadium in Bedford, New Hampshire for tonight's Division I NHIAA girls soccer game featuring the Bedford Bulldogs and the Nashua North Titans. My name's Lauren Fox, and alongside Bill Klein, I will bring you all the action from high above Bulldog Stadium. And Bill, the Bulldogs coming into this one obviously still on a roll. They did have that one blemish at the beginning of last week in that game against Winnicunnet, but they are going on senior night against a Nashua North team that is coming off a 3-game losing streak, but regardless is not an opponent to be overlooked.
Absolutely. And a few interesting factoids here. We've got Bedford coming in tonight in second place overall in the standings with that one blemish, the loss. Number one, Exeter just has a tie, and that's why we're in technically second place. Nashua North, 9th place, and Nashua North has scored 15 goals, allowed 12. When you compare that to Bedford, Lauren, 34 goals for us, allowed only 4. Obviously on paper it looks good, but right before this game, the boys team tonight, the Bedford boys Bulldog team was out in Keene against one of the top teams, the number 3rd place team, and in spite of that, final score 9-2.
Yep.
So you just don't know on any given night. Here we go.
On any given night, you do not know. For these Bulldogs tonight, they have, we'll get to the lineup in a second. It is senior night, so we do know that there are some familiar faces in the lineup, although 3 of them are regularly in the Bulldogs starting lineup. The 4th one, Emma Peterson, has been in the lineup occasionally, but is now getting the start tonight. Petey will be on the right wing. It is funny, Emma Peterson referred to by just about everybody within the soccer program by that nickname because when she was a freshman in the program playing JV, there was another Emma Caruso at that point, and Coach Herrick, the JV coach, who's also the varsity assistant, needed a way to differentiate between the 2 Emmas. So Emma Caruso was Emma, and Emma Peterson remained Petey, and who would have thought 3 years later, parents call her Petey. So Vashi Bajpai playing mid for the Bulldogs, also a senior. And Jenna Dindorf on the back line for these Bulldogs, a senior, as well as Kenzie Forrester up there on the left wing wearing long sleeves. Kenzie is in possession of one of the strongest legs in the state of New Hampshire, just a true weapon for the Bulldogs on corners. Cece Irwin, striker for the Bulldogs tonight. She is up front. We just saw her contesting for a 50-50 ball. And some of the other players in the starting lineup for the Bulldogs, Sloan Correa, Anna Diaz are at mid. Nora Ripple, McKenna Snow, Addie Kiley on defense, and Carolyn Kemp, the junior, in net for the Bulldogs here tonight.
Interesting the way the game started with the first touch of the ball. The Carolyn, the Bedford keeper, which is typically not what happens in either boys or girls soccer here in Bedford. It's usually the other way around. But since then, it's been Bedford with the ball control mostly at midfield here.
Now, we know there are some good defensive players on this Nashua North team. They have a senior keeper, Nora Ross. And for this Titan squad, it really appears that the problem is not keeping the ball out of the net. 12 goals in 10 games isn't really anything to sneeze at. That's not a bad result at all, but only 15 goals in that goal column, Bill. That can make it tough to win some matches.
That puts them on the low end of the teams around the state, and of course they are, middle of the pack at number 9 coming in here tonight.
So for these Bulldogs, as Bill Klein mentioned, if you're just joining us, they are currently sitting in the number 2 slot behind Exeter, which has only a tie. Ball sent left side. Kenzie Forrester with it. Now it's a foot race. Thought about looking middle to CC and now tried to sneak it past the defender. Couldn't. and the ball will be sent out of bounds on the far side, and it will be, I was thinking Bedford throw, but instead it will be a Titan throw. It's going to be tough for us tonight, I will say that much. It is not easy under the best of circumstances to make out light blue numbers on a white jersey, but everybody kind of resembles one another for these Nashua North Titans. It's tough to make out those numbers.
It's very difficult. And of course, we were blessed last week when we did the breast cancer game.
Yes.
And the Bedford girls, at least, were wearing the pink jerseys, which gave the numbers for Bedford a very easy.
Well, for the dogs,
glanceable.
at this point in the season, we can figure out who's who. Sloan Correa stands out a bit. She's got the knee brace on the left knee. Emma Peterson, blue shoes. We know that stuff at this point, but the opponents are the ones that are sort of tougher to track.
Absolutely. Hey, for those of you that are, if you're watching this live someplace around the country or the world tonight, here it's 54 degrees. The first night that I can say it's actually nippy. They got the fall feel in the air. We got a crescent moon. And the officials, for some reason, I haven't seen this. This looks like a summer soccer uniform. They have, what are those socks that they're not wearing? They're not wearing the regular
The no-see.
Yeah.
Is that, I don't know what the...
I don't get, I'm super shocked. I'd be wearing double socks.
Well, it is cold out. It is fall, and so this is seasonally appropriate weather. Some of the Bulldogs wearing sleeves. Nora Ripple taking the throw for the Dogs wearing sleeves, and it looked like that one out of bounds off CeCe Irwin, and Rosie Clark will take the throw for the Titans.
One of the things that it could be relative to the officials, whether they did a game before this or not, but wearing the same equipment, they're supposed to be dressed the same, and sometimes officials will show up with two different types of socks after all the uniform changes that officials have gone through over the many years. So that could be another reason why they went this route instead of deciding to wear two different sock colors.
It's funny, umpires will do the same thing where they will show up wearing, there will be guys in the fall. This is, I'm talking Pony and Colt League baseball in Manchester, and you have Gary Simpson and Greg Surrett who will wear pink because it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Always a welcome thing. But some of those umpires are fixtures around town, of course.
There have been many for many years.
If you are here, I don't know why you'd be watching this game on YouTube, but if you are around town and looking for something to do, come out and join us. Beautiful night. Bill Klein gave you the weather report earlier, but Alyssa O'Neill for the Bedford Boosters manning the concession stand.
Yes.
And they have ample pizza, chips, candy. Like, I know where I'm going if my kitchen turns out bare. It'll be the concession stand here at Bedford High, but she is well stocked for you with hot chocolate and coffee as well.
You can keep your hands warm, and more than that, drinking a nice warm beverage.
Not everybody gets to be here in the booth with us.
Yeah, where it's heated and air conditioned, and there's full open. Well, not an open.
Bill Klein talking about what do we have in here?
A friend of mine happened to be one of my best friends was down at the Penn State game, and he was in the president's box with his wife this past weekend for the USC game.
USC is this weekend. That was UCLA.
UCLA, yeah. Right? Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
No, they'll go to LA and pound USC this weekend. I'm sorry to say, but it's not going to be good for the Trojans. Penn State is stacked.
I certainly hope not.
Speaking of, I guess this is somewhat of a segue as Carolyn Kemp fields that one on a hop, and she'll send it out. We had a graduated senior who returned today, Kylie Morris, who was part of that 2022 state championship team. Kylie was here sporting her 2022 state champs parka, and she is in town from college in North Carolina, but her sister, Lana, is actually at Penn State as well.
That's right, yes. Yep.
Ball sent out by the Dogs. It'll be a throw coming up.
My eldest daughter was looking to play college soccer possibly, and the year that she graduated from Merrimack High School unfortunately coincided with the year that Penn State women went from a club sport team to varsity. and they picked up one of the top coaches in the country from Ithaca College. And my daughter, I think, smartly made the decision that she would probably not see any playing time based on the recruiting when she saw some of the notices coming out about Penn State recruiting, which is in every sport. It's incredible.
Ball chipped up and over by Sarah Fry. She was looking for one of the forwards and just a little out in front. Carolyn Kemp with the save and winds up sending it back out. But North has had some decent opportunities here in the early going.
And Bedford has not really mounted anything right outside or into the penalty area yet. I think it seems like between the boys and the girls game, the last 3 or 4 goals we've had have all been on corners, by the way. Do you recall that?
Both goals in the game the other day against, I'm drawing a blank.
Pinkerton.
Thursday night, Pinkerton. Both those came off a corner.
One a short corner.
Wow, one a short corner. Yep. And Sean Diaz and I were texting back and forth trying to come up with a good name for a short corner. Annie Zink into the game, and now she is creating havoc as she does, not only on the basketball court, also on the pitch.
Official in a good position there to see that and making a throw-in call for the Bulldogs.
PD sends the throw-in down the line, and it's sent right back out by North, and it will be a Bulldog throw coming. Annie replaced CeCe Irwin, and PD, who started the game for the Dogs, will stay out there. Nora Ripple sending it to the middle to Sloan Correa. Now back to Nora. Up the near side. PD holds it in. And now off the North defender. And it'll be a Bedford throw coming up. Nora to take the throw and evaluate her options.
Some nice ball control there. Good touches for a change for Bedford, the way they normally play.
Strong throw in off Zink's thigh. Held in there by Anna Diaz. Anna sends it left side. Great play to keep that ball in Bulldog possession, and now Addie Kiley will send it back to Jenna Dindor, or to McKenna Snow, I should say. McKenna maneuvering near side. Now Emma Peterson kind of stutter-stepped a little bit on it. I don't think she thought she was going to be led as much as she was, and McKenna really trying to set her up.
Comparison of how much better soccer's gotten over the years, Lauren. That double back pass, so to speak, twice the ball was passed back towards our own goal by the Bulldog ladies. If that were done 40, 50 years ago, as when I was coaching here in the state, you would hear fans yelling, "That's the wrong way, don't go that way, don't go that way." It was so frustrating as a coach because we're trying to get them to step up their game like we see now. And so many people were not accustomed to soccer. Now, the majority of these fans probably know the game fairly well.
Do you think that also has to do with the skill level of the player, though, where it used to be the role of a defensive player was basically to read angles, break up passes, slide tackle, and less to be almost a point guard where you had Addie and McKenna on that back line, and both of them are very good with the ball and can control it. And McKenna almost started to drive the lane at that point and realized that she could pass, and she knew that she had others that were going to pick up her slack.
Lauren, spot on. Also the fact that most programs only had a few players per team, if they were lucky, that actually knew the game and could, did have some true ball skills. So very often you were putting players with no experience back as fullbacks just to get to the ball, and like you're saying, slide tackle, break up plays, and boot the ball. Remember that expression?
Yes.
Boot the ball.
That's now an expression coaches don't like to use.
That's for sure.
Sloan Correa now back to the middle, sent to Nora. Nora head up, evaluating her options. Sends it way up. Annie Zink has it go past her. It goes past everybody, in fact, and then the keeper comes out past the 18 and will send it out trying to find Ariana Miller, but Miller can't make the play on the ball, and it will roll out of bounds. Although Bedford throw is coming.
Although Nora kicked it out, the Nashua North keeper got a pretty good foot on her. And the timing of her run to get out, realizing that she shouldn't wait inside that goal area. If she makes a mistake, she's going to be in big trouble.
Dogs reshuffling the deck a little bit. Annie Zink on the near side. She's playing right wing. CeCe Irwin back in at striker. Libby Fox in on the left wing. And Emma Peterson did a great job in about 13 minutes of play. No doubt we will see her back in this game as well.
There's a lot of skills that we could say have changed and really improved over the year. Heading, I think, as you can see right there, a combination of we're getting kids before would just touch the ball with their head without any concept at all of what to do and make it a true tactical skill.
Oh, I will refer to Anna Diaz, but you watch Anna with the ball, and every touch just about has a purpose. That one sent way up, and beautiful touch on that ball. Speaking of, and CeCe Irwin couldn't get to it, but the North defender will send it out of bounds. Bedford throw comes, and taken there by Annie, and now sent out of bounds. Not quite certain who it was off of before it went. The official signals it is a North throw coming.
It almost looked like that was one of the ones that he was waiting for one of the team players
just to pick up a ball.
Go pick it up, and he was going to say, whoever picks it up first gets it.
Ball popped into the box. North doing a good job just to keep CeCe Irwin away from it, and it results in a goal kick. Several of the players wearing gloves, and I know some coaches also have strong opinions about that as well. Keeper sends it out over the head of Miller, near side, and a Bedford throw is coming.
Yeah, that unfortunately can't give credit to that defender for Nashua, but nice shielding of the ball without obstructing. She still moved with the ball towards the goal line, so it was not an obstruction call. Good job by the official and the Nashua defender.
Now Nashua trying to send it out. They send it down the field, but not a whole lot of purpose on that one, and McKenna Snow holds it in, or tried to, couldn't. And it will be a North throw coming. Thought it had gone off the Titans, but maybe McKenna got it before it went out of bounds and couldn't recover. Ball back to the middle. Anna pops it up and over. CeCe comes in, fighting for the ball, sends a player to the ground, and that will be a kick coming for the Titans.
Good call, charge from behind. Not just shoulder to shoulder, but a little bit too much.
Kind of a low bridge, if we're talking basketball terms, I guess. So North on the football 39 sends it into the box. It's going to be a tough one. Carolyn Kemp has it go off her hands. I don't even know how she managed to get to that ball. She came out. I thought she had misjudged it a little bit, and it was going over her head. And last second, reached up, got it with her fingertips, sent it out of bounds, and now it'll be a North corner kick from the near side.
Up here, Lauren, it looked like the ball was heading into the net.
Oh, 100%.
Over, absolutely.
Left foot sent to Anna Diaz. Anna will send it toward the near sideline, and Clark will let it roll out of bounds, and Rosie Clark takes a throw. Strong throw for her. And now fighting for it, Sloan Correa. Now to Addie Kiley, or to Nora Ripple, I should say.
Nice first touch on the ball by...
Now Anna Diaz with it, and the Bedford Bulldogs are on the charge.
Catherine.
Anna draws it back a bit, now looks near side. Annie Zink thought she had Vashi in the middle, now to CeCe, back to the middle, and off the shins of the Bedford player. Nora Ripple just pops it up and over, and the keeper, Ross, will have to come out, field it on a hop, and she will have an opportunity to send it back out. We're still scoreless here, 23 and a half minutes remaining, or 16 and a half gone by, depending on how you want to look at it.
Very nice link passing there by the Bedford Bulldogs, moving the ball down the field, the best that they had so far this game.
Libby finds Nora near side. Nora finds Annie Zink. Annie, nice little move to get the ball toward the middle. Now to Sloan. Sloan back to Annie. Annie looking to CeCe up the near sideline. Great ball. And now CeCe, one move back toward the middle. Left foot cross is coming right through the box, but nobody there. Didn't quite get there early enough. And now the ball tried to be held in by Annie Zink. And Annie, I'm surprised nobody was called for anything on that one. You say good no call. I'll defer to you.
No foul.
And North sends the ball out. Bedford throw coming near side.
No, that was great that there was no call, because you're right. And that's the other kind of thing that the officiating, to a certain extent, has gotten much better over the years as well. Letting, especially girls' teams play. It used to be everybody yelling, that's a foul, that's a foul. Blow your whistle.
Ball poked away. North will send it into the Bedford defensive end, where Addie Kiley will come up with it, direct traffic, and I think she just wanted to send it, but nobody was there while she was looking, and Nora thought about Annie. Now she has all kinds of opportunity to chip it up and over, and Nora, a good ball just to the right of the sideline, and it will be a north throw coming.
Hey, as I mentioned, officials just then and doing a good job. Haven't done this yet this year. We used to have lists of things to cover. But a quick shout out to people that we do need officials for every single sport, in some cases drastically. If you've got any interest at all out there, give it some consideration. You can look into it. You don't have to commit right up front, but find out about it. It's a great way to get some exercise with some of the sports and be a part of the game and help out.
Yeah, we did have a read for that last year, several times a game. Ball sent up. CC had a shot at it, couldn't get to it. Nice play by the North defender, and now ball sent out off of the shin of Rosie Clark, and a Bedford throw coming. Nora Ripple to take it. To Anna, back to Nora, near side, now off of Miller, and another Bedford throw is coming. Grateful to have ball people on the field. Really helps keep the pace of play moving. Ball popped up and over. Anna Diaz, a header back near side. Annie Zink, speaking of the headers. Clark
nice
now
job.
fighting for the ball, and CC tried to pick it away from Clark, but could not. And we have yet another throw on the near side.
A couple quick comments about some of the other Bedford teams. Field hockey's 9-3-1. They're tied for 6th place. Football, of course, 5-0. They broke their 4-game streak with scoring 35 points.
Yeah, they went extra. They scored 47.
47, and it was their first shutout as well against Merrimack. Volleyball's playing right now. They're 11-0, and they're playing inside here in the nice warm, probably, gymnasium.
Ball up near side. Knocked away. Thought for a second that... Yep, there you go. Throw coming in from Jen Dendorf, taken by CC, and now ball stolen by North. Bedford somehow thought the girls had a chance to win it there, did not. North coming back the other way. The Bulldogs have maintained possession, and North has had several chances. Probably I would say the best opportunity of the game so far. The
Yes,
free
absolutely.
kick taken from the 39 that you and I both thought was heading over Carolyn Kemp's head. Now the ball sent out by Kemp toward midfield. Vashi fighting for it. Ball back near side. Miller chips it up, and just a little bit out of reach of the striker for North, and looks like we might have a foul there. And sure enough, Vashi whistled at about the football 28. So that one will be a tough one for the Bulldogs to deal with. 28 yards is about the right distance, and it's straight away.
Yeah, I think this is a little bit like the other one. Hopefully the keeper is going to be ready and on her toes because it's the same kind of ball right at her.
Sarah Fry to take it and sends it over the head of Carolyn Kemp and in. And I don't think there was a whole lot of saving the ball. That was a perfect shot.
That was excellent. I don't know how tall Carolyn is, but I think she's tall enough. She might have been able to get her hands on it if she had jumped at just the right moment, but it was a perfect shot, like you said, and not what I would have expected, to be honest with you. I thought we were going to see Bedford with a bit of a runaway to a certain extent, but not the case. Wow. We've seen those before. The score at the beginning of the season, Hanover, scoring that long direct free kick as well.
So sometimes what you have for the Bulldogs, though, is they give up that one goal and they get a bit angry and start playing a little bit different with a little bit of urgency. So we'll see what happens now. The Bulldogs to take a throw. That goal coming, as we mentioned before, off the foot of Sarah Fry, the junior. Now CC holding off the North defender. And Addie Kiley fighting for the ball. Somehow thought she had held it in, did not. Miller's throw coming, and North now playing with a bit of confidence that you can play with when you're up by a goal. Kenna Snow looked like she was going to send it deep and instead just popped it high. And now ball back near side off the foot of the Bulldogs, and it will be a North throw coming.
Yeah, it's funny. You know, it's odd how we kind of talked a little bit, both of us mentioned about the low scoring of this Nashua girls team. And who's the first one to put the ball in the net?
It came off that set piece, though, and you and I talked about it. We saw a good foot from her from 28, Now Annie Zink will send it into
this
the
is
box,
good.
and
This
Libby
looks
in a
good.
chase with the keeper Ross, and Ross falls on it and cradles it on the ground. But the Bulldogs trying to make an opportunity out of that. Annie Zink, very good distribution. Now the ball heading back toward the middle. Cece with it, makes a move, looks left side. Kenzie Forrester there. Kenzie takes the touch, comes back in, now toward the middle, and gets it to Libby, who gets kind of knocked down a little bit, but no call there, of course. And now popped in by McKenna Snow, or by Sloan Correa, I should say, over the end line. And it will be a corner kick coming up for these Nashua North Titans.
The Nashua defenders dropped back very quickly and had a 5-2 advantage on the Bedford players within the penalty area on that last charge down the field by Bedford.
Ross sends it out. Diaz heads it. Libby looks left side, finds Kenzie. Kenzie takes a touch. Looks like it went off the Nashua defender and then tries to send it back out. And the Bulldogs trying to hold it in, successfully do so. McKenna Snow with it. Now looks back toward the middle. And Anna Diaz comes up with it. Anna back to Sloan to the middle. Sloan to Annie, although just a bit behind her. Miller winds up picking the pocket and now sent off of Miller's foot. It will be a Bedford throw coming. And the Bulldogs get their choice of soccer balls and wind up, I don't know, I'm going to say going up about 15 yards ahead of where that ball went out.
Did gain
Ball
a little
sent
advantage.
toward the end line. And Libby got to it before it went to the end line, but couldn't send it toward the net. Just couldn't square up on the ball.
The balance of the season, I'll give you a really quick update here. This is the highest opponent ranked that Bedford's going to see the rest of the year. They're going to follow up with Salem, Portsmouth, Dover, and Spalding, who are all ranked below us, 11th, 12th, 15th, and 20th.
North sends it way down the field, and it went into the box and out of the box, and Carolyn Kemp just winds up sending it out of bounds on the near side, and a Titan throw coming. Clark to take it, headed out by Ripple, and at least pushes the ball back about 15 yards. Clark takes the throw. Again, can't get it away from Ripple. Nora breaks it up, now heads it, and sent up and over, taken there, and now Nora again. She's in the mix on just about everything. Looks back near side, trying to find Annie Zink, but the ball went out of bounds, and by a hair, would have been a foot race to the ball, and my money on the Bulldogs on that one. Now a Bedford throw coming.
I'm going to say I wonder if anybody down below has mentioned the amount of, in quote, spin and more one-handed throwing by the Nashua player over here. Just took 3 in a row. I think it's questionable whether it's one hand or two hands. Overhead, clearly. Yes, but could be called.
Ball stolen there by Ray Hawkinson, sent to the middle. She did not start for the Titans, and now sent out of bounds by Claire Hildebrand, and it will be a Bedford throw coming up on the far side.
Of the other top teams, Exeter, who's in first place, Bishop Girton in third. The only one that really has a tough schedule coming up is going to be BG. They've got to play Hanover, number 5, number 6 Goffstown, and number 7 Nashua South.
Ball sent to the middle. Annie Zink tried to send it back to Cece, couldn't do it, and now coming back the other way, Addie Kiley picks a pocket and tried to get it back to the near side, could not, or to the far side, I should say, could not, and it will be a Titans throw coming. About 13 and a half minutes remaining here in the first half. The Bulldogs trailing Nashua North 1-0. An unfamiliar situation for Bedford, to say the least.
That highest seeded match between the top opponents was played this afternoon up in Hanover.
Ball
Bishop
sent
Girton.
up and over, and now it's going to be a foot race over here on the near side. Libby got tangled up a little bit with the official. Takes a dribble. Now we'll send it back toward the middle and just to the right. Good opportunity there, just trying to find a cross, but the right idea for the Dogs, trailing 1-0.
The Bishop Girton result, I'll give you. Bishop Girton
Was that today?
Traveled up to Hanover and beat them 3-1.
Not really sure what to expect out of BG. We know that they have lost some marquee players, but they also have some other very good players in the program, some of whom hail from Bedford.
And Lauren, their only loss was to the number 1 team, Exeter.
Ball sent up and over. CC will fight for it with the North defender. Winds up winning the ball. Gets it to Anna. Anna keeping her eyes on Libby near side. Now Libby chests it, looking back middle. Couldn't come up with anything. And North will come back the other way. Nice play by Addie Kiley, just keeping the offensive player away from the ball. Athleticism and strength really won the day on that one.
Good ball control there, moving the ball across the field against a couple opponents.
Bulldogs trying to find the back of the net, trailing 1-0. Jenna with it, finds Anna. Now looking for McKenna, or looking for Sloan, I should say. Stolen there by North. And the Titans come back the other way. Hildenbrand sends it back far side, and Kenzie Forrester back checking and sends the ball out of bounds. Or actually, the North player lost the ball out of bounds. A Bedford throw is coming.
BG actually has 8 shutouts, Lauren.
So there you go. They're doing it with defense.
Wow, that's a lot. That's probably by far the best. Well, I shouldn't say that, other than Exeter.
Throw coming. Jenna takes it. Now CC fighting for the ball. She's got it. Look into the middle. And sent out of bounds by Clark. It will be a Bedford throw coming far side.
Exeter's got 7 shutouts. And that's to Bedford's 7 as well. Bedford's got 7 shutouts coming into this game.
Anna with it, makes a move, finds Jenna. Jenna sends it back to the middle toward Annie Zink. Now it's Sloan Correa with it. The Bulldogs have committed 2 penalties in this game. One of them led directly to a goal. The other one almost led to a goal. Now the ball sent back to the middle. Libby trying to find Annie. Could not. And North has yet to commit a penalty at this point in the game. Nora Ripple winning a 50-50 ball now at midfield. Nora is everywhere tonight. Making her mark on the game, absolutely. Now ball sent back. Addie Kiley will turn, try to get it out. Now Sloan Correa's got a little bit of time. Sloan threads the needle, finds Libby. Libby finds Anna just a little bit ahead of her. When this offense functions well, they make those connections. But in this case, that one was just a step ahead. Ball sent high to Carolyn Kemp. And again, the Dogs have not, I don't know if they've had a shot on goal to this point in the game.
They haven't.
North has 3.
They have not.
And all 3 have been nail biters.
Yeah, and you know the old saying, if you don't shoot, you don't score. And sometimes it doesn't have to be a hard shot. It was well placed. And those have been.
They have absolutely. Sloan Correa got away with a handball there and then sent the ball out of bounds. It will be a throw coming.
Example there of 2 officials that neither were in a position to be able to see it because it's 2-man. 3-man probably would have been called. But
you and I are high up top. We saw that one.
Yeah, it was easy for us.
Yep.
Especially on our side of the field, you know.
The Dogs going to reshuffle things a little bit. Vashi in. She will go to mid. Annie Zink will go to right wing. And the Bulldogs trying to find the right combination to get the ball into the net. But if you can't get the ball in that offensive third, it's difficult to get that ball in the back of the net. And that's where the Bulldogs have really struggled in this game to this point.
One of the biggest strengths of the Bulldog players, and this would go for the boys team here as well as the girls, is the first touch, the quality of the first touches. We seem to be two of the best teams in the state as far as that goes. It's so important, and it's part of just being also looking up to see where things are. So you make that play, you make the touch into a space, or just keep it right at your feet.
Fry sends it up. Battle for the ball, and Great ball control by North, and that one just went right by the right side of the net.
Shot, but not shot on goal.
It was not a shot on goal, but it didn't miss by much either.
No, it didn't. No, and the idea of going for that far post was absolutely nothing wrong with that.
So now the Bulldogs will take a goal kick and still chasing a little bit of offensive magic here on senior night. Held in there by North. The Bulldogs have had a really hard time getting past that back wall.
Well, you mentioned early, you said that when we were talking about the teams before the game started, that Nashua's coming off 3 losses in a row. And they're not that bad of a team, clearly, but maybe that adds to their motivation to really play hard this evening.
You also never know as Anna Diaz breaks one up. Cece now with it, takes a dribble, looking to her right. And Anna now up the right side, slows things down a bit, thinking about beating her player off the dribble. Instead, sends it in the box to Cece. Cece takes a left touch, and now Kenzie Forrester had a shot at it, but couldn't come up with it. And she was guarded closely there by the North defender, but we have a couple players down. Cece Irwin got upended by the North goalie Nora Ross, and Cece's on her hands and knees, and Ross is sitting down, and now looks like she's in a bit of pain as well.
And I don't think we have replay, do we? No replay this evening, but I didn't see a foul there. I don't know if you could, from your angle, it just looked like it was a collision as the keeper came out and wasn't able to make a good play, and Cece jumped over.
There's 2 players going for a ball, and at this point in the game, that is what you're trying to do. Anna made that great pass to lead Cece to get her in there, and Cece, right before she got hit by the keeper Ross, sent the ball over to the left side toward Kenzie, but the North defender, and couldn't make out who that was, the North defender broke up the pass, just got in the way, and the ball went out of bounds. I am not certain whether it's a goal kick or a corner kick. I don't know who the ball went off. I would assume that it was off of Bedford.
I'm pretty sure the signal was for the goal kick. And the fact the ball where the ball's placed right now would kind of confirm that, but we'll see.
But our thoughts at the moment, of course, squaring away Nora Ross, the keeper for North. And as they get their keeper ready on the sideline, the Bulldogs trying to navigate Cece Irwin being injured, and hopefully Cece is just shaken up and be able to get right back into the contest.
It looks pretty sturdy walking off the field right now, and the keeper just got up for Nashua. And
we saw it a few years ago, and I think it was the 2021 season, and this is in no way saying anything about anybody's injury, but it was in the state championship game against BG, and the keeper went down with an injury right near the end of the game. Were you broadcasting that game?
I think I was.
I was not.
I think I was.
The keeper went down right near the end of that game, and because of the injury on the field, they had to pull the keeper and put in the backup keeper in the waning moments of a state championship game. Now, it's never easy to pull the keeper at any point in time, and now these Nashua North Titans, I believe it's Rachel Gauthier who is in net. Andrew, can you take a look at a jersey number?
That looks like a 00 to me this time for sure, Lauren.
It looks like a blue number on a pink jersey there, buddy.
It's not easy.
Ball sent near side, and of course, for North, you want to make sure your player's okay.
It looks
Fight
like
for the
Nora
ball.
Ross is being attended to on the bench, so and it looked like the other keeper was warming up a little bit.
Chipped up and over by Nora Ripple, and now the ball loose in the box, still rattling around in there. Fight for it, the keeper down, and you talk about coming into a game in a high-pressure situation. This is it, and then we'll have a trip called on Anna Diaz at the 25, but man, the Bulldogs smelled blood in the water right there.
They certainly did, and like you said, coming in when the game's like this, 1-0, but we do not know whether she's, could be 2 keepers at a splitting time like I think our girls are, right?
Yes.
Bedford team has been sharing the time in the goal.
Touch back to Mackenzie Forrester sent up for Libby, and the keeper Gauthier will come up with it just inside the box and head back toward the middle. A little bit of give and go on that one. And of course, Cece being attended to as well for the Dogs. We hope we see both players back in the game.
You know, this season so far, the games that I've seen very few injuries or even stoppages due to a player going down.
That one, though, that was, we got a 2 for 1 there.
Yeah.
That one was a tough collision between two players moving with intent. And not intent to injure, just intent to make a play on the ball.
The worst injury I've ever seen in a soccer field, unfortunately, was our goalkeeper at Merrimack High School that came out and actually came out of the penalty area to block a shot. And as he did so, another shot on goal there, same way as before, but lower, easy to save. But unfortunately, the forward's foot ended up in our goalkeeper's mouth.
Oy, awful.
And game was stopped for about a half hour until we could get him in an ambulance and taken to the hospital.
Oy.
Broken jaw, lost a few teeth.
Yeah, I would anticipate.
Ooh.
Being kept busy here tonight, I will tell you that.
Wow, that's a shot on goal. Nashua's had that advantage in numbers by far.
And they have some strong legs on that team, and unfortunately we can't quite tell you who's who, but the players have no hesitation about sending the ball on net and seem to be able to do it from just about every angle. Now it's Fry giving it another shot. It's deflected. Now sent out of bounds here on the near side. The throw will come for these Titans. About 3.5 minutes remaining in half number 1.
Is that CC coming back in? I think it is, isn't it?
No.
No? I know you can identify some of these girls much better than I can.
That's Meredith Reich,
who
yes.
they are.
Yeah.
Without the numbers.
Yep. Athletic director Corey Parker. I heard him in the background the second that it popped into my brain. But yeah, Meredith in the game for the Dogs. And now sent out of bounds up ahead of Sloan Correa. And a throw is coming.
In the boys' game earlier, I mentioned the 9 goals. The rundown on that was, I believe, may not be exactly correct, but
Fry being hassled there by Anna Diaz and winds up sending the ball back near side. Now Fry with it again. The strong leg she possesses got them their first goal at the 18:51 mark. And now the Bulldogs, as we near the end of this first half, trying to get something going. Ball sent up the sideline. Now it's a foot race for the ball. Libby sends it toward the end line, charging toward the net, using her body, trying to keep the Nashua North defender away. Could not. And Meredith Reich winds up holding the ball in. The Bulldogs do keep the ball in. And now Sloan Correa will hang on to things and hope to slow things down a little bit for the Dogs and maybe get a possession out of this that lasts a little bit longer and some meaningful shots on goal, because North has been controlling the game in that regard.
we're under 2 minutes. Just under 2 minutes.
I didn't start a timer, so at this point I'm guessing, but
Those 9 goals, real quick. Ollie had 3. Ellie had 1, I believe. Ali Mirza had 2. I'm sorry, Ali had 3. He had a hat trick. Caden 1 or 2, and Jacob Bilecki had 1.
Miller jumps the route.
Players.
Now sends the ball into the offensive end for North. Zink looking for Nora. Now Annie will send it back to the middle to Sloan. Sloan back far side. Controlled, but the Bulldogs probably running out of time now. Now Sloan chips it up and over. Annie with it. Just out of her reach, but she manages to hold the ball in. Now she heads toward the end line, sends it off the defender, and it will be a throw coming. Man, game of inches. It was about 3 feet one way. If it doesn't go that way, it winds up being a corner. But for the Dogs, you got to hustle here. Time is ticking as they trail 1-0 at the end of the first. Anna with it, now back to Annie. Annie sends it toward the middle. Libby with it, got 3 defenders around her. Now Sloan has it bounce away. Sloan fighting for the ball, can't come up with it. And now North will come back the other way. And now quickly come the Bulldogs. Anna, near side, Annie, chipped up. Keeper coming out, and she's going to field it on a couple hops. Not sure why she didn't just pick it up clean instead of getting cute with it, but
the official on the far side ready to blow the whistle for the end of the play. And this is unlike FIFA rules and whatnot that the kids play all around the world and whatnot. When that clock expires, it expires. They don't wait for the ball to be not in possession or an attack or anything else.
So there you go. We are through our first 40 minutes of soccer, and the Bulldogs have a tough road to climb, or a tough hill to climb, I guess, trailing 1-0. They got, or the Nashua North Titans got their goal at 21:09 off a penalty kick. Sarah Fry made that one, and the Bulldogs have not found the back of the net, and that's where we stand through 40 minutes. So for the Bulldogs, you need to find a way to score 2 here, really. Don't want to take that tie and jeopardize your playoff standing. So for the Dogs, they got a 9-minute halftime. We will stay with you for the senior night ceremony that Andrew Fenn will put on, and we'll be back for the second half of soccer in about 10 minutes. You are watching BCTV and Bedford High Girls Soccer.
Warm-ups tonight, we would like to take a moment to celebrate all the seniors taking part in this evening's game. First, beginning with Nashua North's seniors. Goalie Rachel Gauthier. Number 3, Kaylee DeLeo. Number 7, Claire Hildebrand. Number 10, Mary Pappas. Number 12, Ariana Miller. Number 16, Brielle Baxter. And number 33, Nora Ross. Now please let us welcome our 4 outgoing Bulldogs. First up, number 7, forward captain Mackenzie Forrester. Mackenzie is joined by mom, Anne Marie, dad Scott, and sister Abby. Although undecided on a school, Mackenzie plans to study nursing next fall.
Hey Tim, how you doing? Basketball, football.
Next up, number 9, midfield Emma Peterson. Emma is joined by her grandparents, Claudia and Chris, and her mother, Jessica. Emma plans to study health science next fall. Number 13, defenseman and captain Jenna Dindorf. Jenna plans to pursue a degree in STEM, and she's joined by her sister Caitlin and her parents Ken and Linda. number 17 midfielder Vashi Bajpai. Vashi is joined by her parents Vardhan and Meenakshi. Next year, Vashi plans to study political science. Ladies, on behalf of all of your coaches and teammates, thank you for your dedication to the girls soccer program, and best of luck next year and on all of your future endeavors. Fans, please join us in again congratulating our 4 seniors.
You do it safe. So.
Welcome back to Bulldog Stadium in Bedford, New Hampshire, where the Bedford Bulldogs currently trail the Nashua North Titans by the score of 1-0 here on senior night. And I'll say, as I'm Lauren Fox alongside my broadcast partner Bill Klein, Andrew Fenn manning the camera, I will say this is not where we thought things would be 40 minutes into this game. And the Bulldogs have to figure out a way to penetrate this Nashua North defense. The Dogs to this point in the game have gone with 1 up top. We'll see if that changes a bit, if the strategy on offense changes at all. But Bill Klein, as we head into the second half with the Bulldogs trailing, which I don't know when the last time I remember that happening has been. We'll see if strategy changes a bit.
I haven't seen it at all because I wasn't out at Winnicott at that game where they
gave up
them.
That one in the first half on that corner kick.
Yeah.
Maybe I meant I hadn't seen it here. So the Dogs now going right to left for you, wearing black, red numbers. Cece Irwin back in the game for the Dogs. She had gone down on a play in the box, contested ball with the keeper that some of the Bulldog partisans thought should have been a penalty kick because of the way the keeper kind of went through her. It was less about going for the ball, more for the player, but I leave judgments on officials, at least in this sport, to others. I should probably leave judgments on officials in all sports to others. I mean, let's face it, but...
And is that Rachel Gauthier who stayed in for...
I believe it is Gauthier because her hair is up, but I would not say that with any certainty. We will address that. Nora Ross was the starting keeper for these Titans, but left the game on that collision with Cece Irwin near the end of the first. And the Bulldogs certainly had some chances after that. And now the Dogs will have to try to find a way to right this ship as North sends it down the near sideline. McKenna Snow then sends it back toward the keeper and sending it back the other way for the Dogs as Kenzie Forrester sends it off of Ariana Miller. The ball goes straight up and nobody quite knew where it was going. Came down and I think everybody assumed the ball was heading out of bounds.
Kind of sloppy play from both teams.
Yeah, there's not
so
been
far, no control at all.
Much to write home about early in this second half of soccer. Carolyn Kemp still in net for the Dogs. Danny Winning has seen her fair share of time in there, the freshman, but Carolyn in for Bedford. Now Cece will send it far side. Annie Zink cut off there at the pass by the North defender and now somehow emerges with the ball. Tried to send it to the middle and North sends it back toward the far sideline, and now a battle for the ball and held in a look like by Nora Ripple, but now Cece fights for it and the ball will be out of bounds and it will be a Bedford throw.
Bedford needs some shots. Like you said, they got to build up something, and so far in this half, they've just got to get the ball out of midfield.
They have not
under control.
They've struggled a bit on offense to really get a whole lot going. Now Annie Zink will punch it in, and Anna Diaz sends it to Vashi. Vashi with the left foot up and over, where it's now handled by Kenzie Forrester, who tries to pop it in, and Anna Diaz will fight for the ball along with several others, but the Bulldogs still managed to hold the ball in.
Hit it square.
And now it's Jenna Dindorf sending it toward the middle. and chested there by the Titan defender. Still held in though, and I don't know where the call was there, but a Bedford player has a penalty assessed on them in the box. Not quite certain. I did not see anything happen that I wasn't watching that portion of the play, but regardless, a whistle, and Gauthier will send it out.
The only thing I saw, and without the replay right now,
we get spoiled by that.
It almost looked like a potential handball, but the other way.
Sloan fights for the ball, gets it over to Kenzie near side. Now North breaks it up, and the Bulldogs are maintaining possession in that offensive end at least a little bit more than they were in the first. And now Vashi sends it back near side, or far side I should say, to Nora. Now over to the far side to Annie Zink, and held in yet again. Now Addie Kiley will evaluate her options, gets it to Vashi. Vashi makes a move back to Annie. Annie up the sideline, and has the ball knocked away and thought it went out of bounds. It did not. Vashi manages to hang on to it. Now back to Anna. Now Vashi with the left foot toward the middle, toward Mackenzie Forrester. Kenzie looks to her left to Jenna Dindorf. Jenna kind of ran over the ball a bit. Now looks back to Anna, and Anna thinking about taking a shot and just want to send that ball on net, and winds up getting deposited on her backside by Ava Tremblay, and the Bulldogs still hold it in. Sloan back to Jenna. Jenna pops it in. Vashi off the knee, and now sent back out where Sloan holds it in yet again. So I will say the Bulldogs look better as far as possessing the ball. CC was offsides on that one, and it will be
but the first
Nashua North
touches,
ball.
Lauren, after we're talking about how consistently they usually are, the Bedford Bulldogs tonight, those first touches have not been that great.
It has been a struggle throughout the game. So with 35 minutes left for the Bulldogs, you want to get that equalizer sooner than later.
And they had a great, at least 5 touches down the far touch line just, minutes ago, and then lost it before they could get a shot off after the long cross.
Now ball moving up. Anna with it. Jenna. Kenzie near side. Kenzie looking for Jenna up the middle of the field. Nothing doing. Anna comes up with it. Anna, Vashi. Vashi back to Anna. Just want somebody to send the ball on net. Vashi off the back of the defender. That might be the bounce the Bulldogs need. Now rattles around a bit. Sent back to the far side, out of bounds, and the Bulldogs will get a throw far side.
Twice the number of Nashua players defending to 3 attackers on that. Bedford only had 3 attacking players. It was a 2-to-1 advantage to Nashua. They're really dropping back quickly and controlling that.
CC with a header, tried to send it to Vashi, could not, and now North will send it out of bounds. Bedford throw is coming.
And I think about this, I think to a certain extent, if we had been scouted, I would say that we're a kind of team that you'd say we don't take shots from outside the goal area. They work, they try to pass, control into the goal area.
Now with the speed burners North, and McKenna Snow winds up recovering, sends it out of bounds. It'll be a North throw coming from the far corner.
They're lucky that was a throw, not a... could easily have rolled a little further for the goal kick.
Looked like when
corner,
It looked like when she sent it out with that in mind, but... And now sent up to CC. CC looking, sends it middle to Anna. Anna trying to find Kenzie. Kenzie takes a touch. Will that stay in bounds? It does. Kenzie in a mad dash to the ball. Sends it with her left foot toward the middle. Rattles through the box. Knocked away by the North defender. And that threat by the Bulldogs about as good as anything we've seen. They have had several others, but...
Lauren, look at that side of the field. And if you're looking at your TV screen, you can see at least six white shirts.
So as a former soccer coach there, Bill Klein, what is your answer to that when they're dropping back on D? Because if you're the Bulldogs, you got to find a way to get the ball in the net.
Well, I think that some of the Bulldog players can take a shot from 20 yards away effectively. So that's definitely one thing. and keep the ball out of the middle. Use the wings, both sides wide. But then when you bring the ball back, bring it back towards a little back towards the goal. Don't go to the goal too quickly. And then attack again. Draw some of the defenders out wide.
Jenna loses her footing. Now the ball stolen from Rosie Clark by McKenna Snow, and we'll see if McKenna tries to play point guard.
Great hustle.
Now Sloan Correa winds up touching it. Now Anna Diaz, now back to Cece. Cece looks to Jenna. Jenna near side, Kenzie. Kenzie takes a touch, looking left side, and sends it up the left sideline where she's now in a foot race with Miller, and Miller just elbowing her out. And Miller somehow maintains possession, now sends it with the left foot toward the middle, but McKenna Snow will corral it. McKenna thinking she's taking a shot and does. The ball deflected there by Gauthier, or deflected by the defender, I should say, and Gauthier handles it on a couple hops. And
I like the fact that they got that shot.
It would have been
the kind of thing that I'm talking about.
It would have been beneficial, though, to have somebody in that situation following that.
We just haven't had the numbers up front. We're going with one striker and like 4 midfielders.
Kenzie sends it near side, looking for Anna. Can't find her, and the ball out of bounds. It'll be a Bedford throw coming. And Kenzie will send it into the box. And Gauthier fields it on a high hop. And now Sloan Correa deflects the kick from the keeper. Now Vashi with it, far side. Annie Zink looks like she'll take a touch, and I think Annie thought that Cece Irwin was going to be a little bit ahead of where she was. She was not, and as a result, ball out of bounds and a Nashua North kick coming.
I'd like to see one of these 5 defenders for Bedford move up offensively. And, heck, we saw that the Pinkerton player that went out from fullback switched to striker last week. We're playing a little too defensively, I think. You got to be more thinking attack.
Nora sends it in. It's going to be off the chest of the North player. Cece gets in the way, pops it up. Kenzie ahead to the middle. And now North will clear, but the Bulldogs, again, as McKenna Snow is shoved down to the ground, no call there. And now the ball sent back near side. And Jenna Dindorf in a foot race for it. McKenna Snow sends it off the shins of the North player. And now the North player fighting with Kenna for it. And a Bedford throw coming from the corner on the near side, but not exactly the sort of line of scrimmage you really want in that situation.
And the Nashua player is really scrappy tonight. They're, but not committing obvious flagrant fouls. Just a little extra hustle, out hustling the Bulldogs.
Now the ball sent in toward the keeper, Kemp. Fields it chest high on the hop. And Kemp sends it toward midfield. Anna Diaz with a header, and now the ball just rolling into the offensive end for the Bulldogs. The keeper, Gauthier, sends it toward midfield and flipped the field pretty well, did the keeper.
Came out 30 yards. Well played.
Not afraid in any way, and now Sloan Correa jumps the route, picks the pocket. Now Cece up in the offensive end, giving chase into the corner with the Titan defender. And the Titan defender falls, takes Cece down with her. Cece whistled for the foul. And it will be a Titan free kick from there, but looked like that was just feet getting tangled up.
Yeah. I'm just a little puzzled why the Bedford strategy hasn't shifted a little more offensively. The numbers back on defense just do not seem to be necessarily required, especially when you're down by a goal and you need the offense. If you don't get one goal, you're not going to have a chance of winning. They've got to do something different.
About 27 minutes remain here in the game, and the Bulldogs need to find a way to find the back of the net at least once. You're hoping for twice so that you don't take the L, but for Bedford, the name of the game is you got to score one goal at a time. There's no two-point play, last as far as I've seen.
That's a pocket picked.
Diaz picks a pocket, does Anna. Now taking her time, looking middle to Vashi, a little ahead of her. Now Anna back with the ball. Anna looking. Got Kenzie near side, finds Kenzie. Kenzie will send it in toward the middle, off the shins of the North defender. And now just a good bounce for that Nashua North Titan team, because the defender able to hold the ball in. The first thing I was thinking when she made that play was it was going out of bounds and we were going to get a corner, but
Yes.
nothing doing. And it will be a throw coming. Kenzie Forrester out now for the Dogs.
But what had happened right before that was the ball was played from the middle of the field out to the wing, which is what I was saying before, draws the defenders out, offsides.
And we had a call made. I don't know what that was.
Offsides.
It was an offside call. On whom?
I cannot tell
That's your
you.
call, not his. He's playing the ball.
No, maybe it wasn't. According to the fans,
The only offsides if you play the ball.
An offside call was made.
No, it was
but,
offside.
Yeah, the fans of the Bulldogs thinking that there was no advantage gained. Now the ball sent in. Libby to Vashi. Vashi back to Libby. And the North defender just shielding Libby away.
No, which we got goal kick.
We have a goal kick down there off her foot. And North now taking their time a bit. But we'll see if Bedford makes an effort to leave two up on that front line, change things up a bit.
Drop it. I don't know.
Ball sent up toward midfield. It will go out of bounds. McKenna Snow takes the throw. Snow sends it in past the defender for North, Catherine Azevedo, and handled there by the keeper, Gauthier, who then sends it right back out toward midfield. And now the Bulldogs have another chance. Anna Diaz looking, taking her time. She got about 4 defenders around her, gets it to Cece in the middle. Cece, again, immediately grabbed by the North defender. Now North sends the ball up top, and Nashua North with an opportunity here as they flip the field. Ball knocked away, and it will be held in by the Titans. Now Annie Zink fighting for the ball over on the far side.
Nashua's clearly marking CC with at least 2 defenders consistently. It's one of the problems with that middle of the field there for her, and being by herself.
Cece takes ahead, gets an elbow in the back for good measure.
That's a nice move.
And a trip comes. Anna Diaz gets sent down, and they say that it was Anna that committed the foul.
Yeah.
And so a free kick coming. You think so?
Yeah. Yeah, as the Nashua player tried to get past her, she put her foot out.
The Bulldogs will set up a wall here.
This is the first time that we've seen a referee pace off, and he's paced off.
I don't know why he needed to pace anything off.
He
Just
paced off
do
nine yards.
Right.
Oh, that's
And the kick taken, 23-14 left here in the game. Now the kick coming,
boy.
and another one sent in by North. Sarah Fry again off a penalty. Both of those have come that way.
That's a heartbreaker for the Bulldogs, especially the keeper, obviously. But
That's on you, Yellow.
wow, yeah, I thought it was a trip. Maybe it wasn't. We'll see it on replay when we get home.
There have been several that have been called that may have been no calls.
By Sarah Fry.
And in that case, you had Anna going down as a result of either tripping or being tripped. But consequently, a call made, and unfortunately for the Bulldogs, they're on the receiving end of a couple penalties that have each led to a goal. And they trail 2-0 with 22:40 remaining in the game. But again, you got to do it one play at a time for the Dogs, and find your way to one goal. Has Sloan Correa gets shoved in the back.
That was a missed foul.
Bill Klein.
Absolutely.
Finally, there have been 0 calls against these Nashua North Titans in the game today.
Correct.
And there have been several against the Bulldogs. One almost led to a goal at the end of the first. And two have led to goals for these Titans. Anna Diaz gets manhandled down there. And Anna goes into a North player who then immediately grabs her knee. But it looked like that was kind of incidental contact. And two players going for a ball.
And substitutions for both teams.
Kenzie Forrester back in for the Bulldogs. Trying to find a goal, but for the Dogs, they're going to need to go heavy on offensive players late in this game.
It's 2 throw-ins in a row directly to a Nashua player. Didn't have to move to play it.
Bashi, great touch toward the middle. Now Anna. Ball
nice.
deflected. Anna sends it up, and the keeper, Gauthier, handles it on a hop, but that might be as much pressure as has been placed on her to this point in the game.
That is so true. I was going to say the same thing. Maybe at this point the Bedford players are going to feel the pressure and be able to add to their skill and techniques to play together and get a goal.
Well, you knew North wasn't going to be pushovers, and they're certainly playing hard, but the penalty column between both teams, I think the Bulldogs and their faithful would tell you they would expect something different, particularly on that play on CeCe Irwin at the end of the first half that up in the box we thought was a no call. Some of the Bedford faithful thought should have resulted in a call.
This
Now
looks
Vashi,
good.
whoop, go ahead.
I was going to say it looked like a really nice pass, but unfortunately, again, right to a Nashua player instead out to space.
Bashi to Jenna. Jenna with her left foot.
Again.
Stolen by North. Now back the other way, Ariana Miller. Miller almost trips on the ball, but somehow maintains her balance and possession at the same time.
Take it, Rosie, take it!
This is one
Now
of the
Clark.
few times where Nashua has shown control there, multiple touches.
White, where are you, White?
Now Addie Kiley running point, gets it to CeCe in the middle, but unfortunately for the Bulldogs, not a whole lot
Here we go again.
going there. CeCe was in the middle of traffic and a penalty called. This one, I believe, the 5th against the Bulldogs, I think.
Yeah, one thing you can't do is say that just because the numbers aren't even,
one sent
it's
up and over.
wrong.
Both teams are playing tough, but there have been, it's been challenging.
Yeah, it is frustrating because it has looked like it's appeared that there's been more calls that of maybe shouldn't have been called.
The Bulldogs getting a little frustrated now too. We're seeing some shoves in the back and fouls of that sort, and so you want to make sure that you're not picking up frustration fouls at this point in the game because you still have a chance. There's 18 minutes left. You want to try to find a way back into the game and see if you can maybe somehow fashion a tie out of all this. Ball sent up near side. Kenzie Forrester
Onsides, but
with it.
didn't-
She was onside, but it was just out in front of her.
Just a little bit too far.
Now McKenna Snow playing a little bit more offense, and that's a weapon we haven't seen for the Bulldogs. Deflected there by North. And the ball sent back into the defensive end. Addie Kiley sweeps it, gets it away, back far side, and knocked out of bounds by North. And the Bulldogs doing something a bit unorthodox here, swapping out keepers at about 18 minutes remaining in the game. Danny winning in, Carolyn Kemp out. Although I wouldn't say either of those balls that wound up scoring were a result of anything on Carolyn's end except not being taller.
Right. Yep.
Lana McCarthy might have had a shot at him. Gibbs agrees.
Absolutely.
She would have been really useful in net. Lana was in town last weekend. Now Ariana Miller back the other way. Miller gets her pocket picked by McKenna Snow. Want to see Kenna take it, make a move up top, but she did not. She distributed. Now Vashi with a header. Ball in the middle for the Bulldogs, but they're at a point in the game where they need to find a way to take control of things. And now for Bedford, Anna Diaz will fight for it, but the keeper Gauthier will send it out. Sloan Correa off her knees. And under 17 remaining here in the game. The Bulldogs need to find a way to get a number on the board. Sloan with it, looks far side. Finds Annie. Now looking for Anna. Maybe a little bit ahead of her. The keeper Gauthier sends it up. Nice first touch by North. Now the Titans send it up, and Addie Kiley had a shot at it but wound up losing the ball. Now Miller with a touch to Fry. Back to Miller.
This does not look like the same Bedford team that we've been watching this season. We got a player down now for Nashua. It could be a cramp.
Nah, she went down and it was non-contact, and so that's always a concern. But, you know, we're stopping at 15:55, so it could be a cramp, but it looked like it was a non-contact injury, and you kind of fear the worst in situations like that.
After not having had injuries and stoppages now tonight, we've got a number.
So the stoppage resulting from Miller getting knocked down. I don't know if she was knocked down or fell as a result of no contact. But while they tend to her, we will remark on the fact that Corey Parker brought a bunch of pizza into the broadcast booth, and Bill Klein and I cannot eat it because we're busy talking. So
save us a piece.
Yep. So the Dogs now attempting to kind of reshuffle things while Miller is being tended to, and I will say it's unfortunate she can't put any weight on that.
This is unfortunate.
Yeah, it looks like a really, it's never good when a player can't put weight on it at all. And
I think we do have the camera going, so we can see that the player just, moved off the field gingerly, now laying down, and they might need to get a cart and over to her, but we'll be able to get the game back going again here shortly. The substitute has come in. I think that's the girl the coach is talking to right now, I believe.
It was pretty immediate, though. She went down. It looked like there was no contact of any kind. And unfortunately, we don't have replay. It was just, in that situation, you're kind of thinking a knee injury. And the fact that she can't put weight on it sort of lends credence to that, as well, as Corey heads down to tend to the situation over there as well. See what we can do for Ari Miller. And you don't necessarily want to leave her there in that situation, but the game will go on. Anna steals it from Allison Fry. And now back the other way as Miller now walks off toward the corner. So she is walking off, which is a good thing based on what we saw moments ago, where she had started to walk and was seemingly unable to put weight on it. She is now able to put weight on her leg and is walking. So that is
a normal walk. There's not a limp or anything.
That is a good thing, yeah. And of course, we wish the best for Ari Miller on that one. Now the ball sent into the box. CeCe Irwin will give chase. The keeper Gauthier kicked it and then picked it up. I'm not sure why. It was almost inviting an unforced error there.
She's got her style. She's got a pretty good foot on her, too, there. She's been delivering out to midfield fairly consistently.
Good job, Rosie.
There's the Nashua hustle again.
They have been winning a lot of contested balls. Now this one takes a hop into the defensive end for North and is sent back toward midfield by the keeper. And now Bedford's got to hold it in. 14 minutes, 20 seconds remain here in the game, but they got to find a way to get on the board here. They have not mounted much in the way of offensive challenges against these Nashua North Titans.
No, it's been like just looking like it's a ping pong game. One side hitting it to the other side back and forth here around midfield over and over again. Neither team is really putting anything together. Or very seldom are they doing that this evening.
Well, at this point, North doesn't need to put anything together.
No.
They have 2 goals off of set pieces directly resulting from Bulldog penalties, and that has gotten us to where we are at this point in the game. Bulldogs chasing a 2-goal deficit, and that, I will tell you, I have not seen at any point since I've been watching Bulldog soccer.
No, and I would say that, typically in most games that the Bedford Bulldogs are playing, you can see them coming back and scoring, or not coming back and scoring, but scoring a couple goals within a few minutes, but not the way things are going tonight. The combination of a Nashua team that's playing extremely well as far as the hustle goes, and Bedford's just not looking like themselves tonight.
Nashua has done well with ball control. They have done extremely well with teamwork, breaking up plays, but for the Bulldogs, they have not had the ability to really get anything going. And the Nashua North D has been nearly impenetrable for the Dogs, and CC offsides by about a step.
Yeah, just a tad. That's all it takes.
Unfortunately, it was a matter of the fact that I think anybody watching the game could have seen she was positioned ahead of the last player when the play had started. So unfortunately, what looked like a good chance resulted in a penalty, and now back the other way come the Bulldogs after that kick resulting from the offside. Bashi sends it into the middle, deflected. Now Anna with it. Anna taking her time. Looking to Kenzie Forrester near side, and Kenzie sends it off the shins of Allison Fry, and a Bedford throw is coming. And now Kenzie with the header. And CC fighting for the ball. Now ball near side. Great job by Sloan Correa breaking up that pass just by having her body right in there, and probably a penalty should have been called there on North, and a little bit extra weight put on McKenna Snow.
Could have been, however.
Advantage
is what I would have seen them called, but they didn't. The official made no signal. You see a lot of that the lack of the signal, and that's one signal that really should be done, the play on it. Lets everybody know that the official saw it, and then they can pull it back if they need to, if the ball's lost immediately.
Clock ticking, about 11 minutes left in the game. Now Anna to Sloan. Sloan sends it up and over and fielded on the hop by Gauthier. And Gauthier sends it out toward midfield where Annie Zink is there. And now Sloan will come up with it. Bulldogs still trying to get on the board, and it's one of those that you look at and you say, it's not because, like in that Winnicott game, the keeper was playing very well, the defenders were playing very well. Bulldogs had plenty of chances in that game. This game, they just have not made offensive chances.
To me, it just doesn't look like the same team that I've seen play this season, especially this season.
And, of course, they do not play this Thursday. They do not play, in fact, until next Tuesday against Spalding. So a break for the Dogs, but I guess at a time, maybe if you're a coach and you're coming off a tough loss, do you want the long break or do you want to avoid that?
Well, the other factors,
And not saying that they're losing the game, but
True.
they have a uphill battle here.
But I don't think we've mentioned the fact that the last 4 games for Bedford are all away.
Yes.
And trips all the way to Spalding, Portsmouth, and Dover. The closest one is Salem, and that's still a fairly good ride.
Right. Yes. That one will be a north throw. It should be, at least. Looked like it went off the shoe tops of one of the Bulldogs. Do we have a crowd mic going?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, there you go. All right. It's pointed toward Nashua North. I was like, why are we getting North parents? But yes. Now back the other way, the Bulldogs. Just can't really get a lot going on offense. And that has been the struggle throughout. Now a bit of miscommunication on defense. Winds up with the ball being sent toward Kenzie Forrester. Kenzie wins a foot race toward the ball. Sends it back toward midfield. And now Rosie Clark wins it. Gets it back the other way. And Jenna Dindorf sends it back to Sloan. Sloan back to Jenna. Jenna looks far side, but
couldn't get it all the way far enough over.
Couldn't get it far enough over to Nora Ripple. And
she got lucky.
Bulldogs win it on that one, but regardless, you still want to find a way to get the ball into the net here with 8.5 left. And all North's really trying to do is kill time and clear the ball. Now Jenna winds up winning that 50-50 ball, but out of that, has it stolen as she tried to find Kenzie Forrester on the pass to Fry. And this game truly now being played in the middle third of the field. Kenna sends it into the offensive end. And now Sarah Fry tried to drag back, but sends it out of bounds, and it will be a Bulldog throw coming as McKenna Snow trying to make something happen on offense.
Gives them a little break here to see if they can mount something. However, not like that.
And the ball eludes Addie Kiley, and she'll wind up dumping it off to Nora Ripple.
And that's the start of smart play, but then the next touch is directly to a Nashua player. Just they're not putting stuff together the way they're capable of and have been doing all season.
Ball up and over. CC with a header, fighting for it. And the Bulldogs now making an offensive run, but the North player tried to send it out of bounds. Instead, sent it to Annie Zink. Anna Diaz had a shot. It was deflected there by the North defender.
The fans calling for a handball on that, but
I didn't see it once.
I don't think it was totally unintentional. The ball hit her arm. It was down. She didn't pick her arm or her hand up. Not from
Again, that's one of those infractions that I have a very difficult time with. But
so does everybody, including the referees.
Now fight for the ball at midfield. Sloan comes up with it, gets it to Vashi, now to Anna. Anna looking for Annie far side. And Nora will send it into the offensive end, but for the Bulldogs, that's not necessarily what you want. It went off the North player, looked like it was going to go over the end line, but it did not, and sent over the sideline by their keeper, and it will be a throw-in coming for the Bulldogs.
This is one of the games where I'm glad I'm not the coach. It's so frustrating.
Why?
Or a parent. If my child's on the field, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what are they doing out there?
It's out of my control. I'm a parent, but it's out of my control. So
that's right. You are, or you are not. Yes, you are.
I am, but I'm focused on the next play. Can the Bulldogs get one, and then can you build on one to get two? But going to be tough going now. And not to mention the fact that North they're playing with about 9 back now. Addie Kiley has it, elude her, gets it back near side. Jenna Meredith Reich. Meredith tried to find Bashi just ahead of her. And now sent back the other way. And And now sent in by Allison Fry.
Oh, boy.
And, Danny Winning will handle it, but a lot could have gone awry in that play. And I will, I guess, give a follow-up that the player for North who had sustained the knee injury earlier, Miller, is now back in the game for North. So glad to see that.
Yes.
I was concerned with the way that she wasn't able to put any weight on it, that it might be a more long-range injury, but not the case. She is back. Now Anna Diaz with it, far side, sends it back toward the middle, and it goes all the way to the other side where Annie Zink had a shot at it. Now North will wind up clearing it. Didn't quite get it all the way out. And now the Bulldogs trying to get something together on offense with just under 4 minutes left. But you can look at it one of two ways, Bill. You can look at it like you wouldn't want to be a coach in a situation like this, or if you are a coach in a situation like this, you have a lot to work on and you have a long break.
Yeah.
So, and because of that, you can kind of fine-tune things a bit. And you have 4 opponents, although you have long drives for all those opponents, but you have 4 opponents who are not among the top teams in Division I. So
No.
you figure things will go a little bit differently the rest of the way.
But like I said when we started the game, I mean, this team's ranked 9th. Looked to me that, at least on paper, we had Bedford's last 5 games were all games that they should win, including this, starting with this. And now we've got 3 minutes left.
Allison Fry steals it from Reich and now sends it off the foot of
First corner in the
Addie
game.
Kiley, and
Or
a
second
corner
corner,
kick is
first or
coming.
second corner.
We had another
had
one
one
down
corner
on the
down
near
there,
corner
yeah.
on the. Yep.
Yep, both for
Both
the
for
Nashua
North.
side.
The
yeah.
Bulldogs have not
Yeah.
had a corner. And by the Bill Klein hand timer, we got about 2.5 minutes remaining in the game. They were considering a short corner until Anna Diaz came out on it.
Oh boy. Nashua had a player going to the ball and caught Bedford standing there. And no rush to put this ball into play, even though they're in their attacking end. The reverse of this, she's going to want to turn and bring it right in.
But even with that, we got about 2 minutes remaining on the clock. It is going to be awfully difficult for the Bulldogs to score 2, let alone score 1. You score 2, and the officials are not setting up the ball that quickly. And a lot has to happen, has to break right to do that. So with about a minute and a half left, we pretty much concede that the Bulldogs are taking the L in this one, and Sloan Correa goes down but comes right back up. And Rosie Clark winds up blocking one, and now the Bulldogs on offense. Meredith Reich with it. Looks far side, looking for Annie Zink, who, no matter the situation, always brings the energy. With about 1:10 left in the game, it is a rather dire situation for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to collectively not be happy with themselves. And in
This
spite,
North team, excellent defenders, and they have done a great job against the Bulldogs, shielding them from the ball. Now Anna Diaz toward the middle, gets her pocket picked, although she really didn't have possession of it. And now North fans sensing being on the verge of an upset. Meredith fighting for the ball with Fry. Jenna now sends it back. Addie Kiley up top. Over the head of just about everybody. CC will come up with it. Nope.
swing and a miss.
Thought she had it. And we are, by our count, under 10 seconds, but the Bulldogs trail it 2-0, and we'll see if this one is blown dead or how much longer we go past that 5-minute mark. I can't imagine it's going to be too much. We did have a couple injuries, but nothing that really necessitated stopping time.
No. And there is no addition of time. It's just stopping the clock, which I think is happening right now.
And sure enough, there it is. Bulldogs of Bedford lose 2-0. 2 kicks taken by Sarah Fry of North. The first one at 18:51. So I guess if you're doing soccer time, 21:09. And the second one, 16:53 in the second. Both of them coming off penalties, and the Bulldogs really could not get much going on offense at all tonight, and as a result, wind up losing at home on senior night by a score of 2-0. Bill Klein, anything you want to add before we send this one?
Nashua certainly, like you've said a couple times, defensively played extremely well tonight and stymied, frustrated the Bedford side, who just could not play up to their skill level tonight. They did not play as well as they can. I know they can, and I'm pretty darn sure they're going to come back. They've got 4 games they should win, and I'm willing to bet that they will win probably enough to get into one of the top slots by the time the season ends. They're a very, very good team.
Well, your hope at this point, and we talked about it, the Bulldogs have a week until their next game. So you know that they're going to have ample opportunities to ruminate on this. Coach Winning and her staff will undoubtedly have things to work on. And so for the Bulldogs, you look at this like, yes, we did take the L tonight, but the goal, yes, you want to win every game, but the goal ultimately is to be the last team standing at the end of the season. And if this teaches you something that gets you to that point, it was worth it. So
point.
The Bulldogs at this point now 10-2, and Nashua North is 6-4-1. So with that said, a tough one tonight for the Dogs. They fall 2-0. Our thanks to Andrew Fenn for his great work on the camera. My broadcast partner Bill Klein. I am Lauren Fox. You've been watching BCTV, Bedford High School Girls Soccer on BCTV.